Hello, friends. In this lecture, we are going to study the continental drift theory. Continental drift theory. This theory was propounded by Mr. Alfred Wegener. Mr. Alfred Wegener in 1912 AD to explain about movement of the continent. Perhaps Wegener was first scientist who gave the theory related to the movement of any continent. Related to movement of any continent, firstly, most scientifically. Firstly and most scientifically. So let's start here. This theory was propounded by Mr. Alfred Wegener, a German meteorologist and physicist. In 1912 AD, in 1912 AD, to explain to explain movement or drifting of different continents or landmass under influence of gravitational pull of sun and moon. But ultimately, this theory came into light in 1920 AD after completion of First World War. Actually, Alfred Wegener was intended to give a conceptual understanding of movement of continents. There are seven continents. There are seven continents in the world, and these continents are moving according to Alfred Wegener. And the continents are moving under influence of gravitational pull of sun and moon, right? Gravitational pull of sun and moon. As the tides originating in the ocean under effect of gravitational pull of sun and moon, similarly, the continents also moving under influence of gravitational pull of sun and moon. It is the perception of Alfred Wegener. According to me and according to all the audience, my students, you also cannot be convinced by Alfred Wegener because he has done the Himalayan blunder. How the continents can move, how the continents can move under influence of gravitational pull of sun and moon. If the gravity of the sun and moon is not capable of moving a single human being, right? It means his assumption or the driving force assumed by the Alfred Wegener is not correct. But to justify his theory, Alfred Wegener gave many of the evidences and the mechanism. Many of the evidences and mechanism. So let's focus on those evidences and mechanism proposed by Alfred Wegener. His hypothesis states that continents move around the Earth's surface and that they were once joined together as a single supercontinent called as Pangaea, which meant all Earth. Alfred Wegener said all the continents moving everywhere, all the continents are moving everywhere, and these continents were interconnected before 250 million years ago. And at that time, the interconnected continents were called as Pangaea, supercontinent Pangaea. And what meant as the whole Earth? The interconnected form of every continents were called as Pangaea, and it was representing the whole Earth. This supercontinent Pangaea was surrounded by a mega ocean. Right? This supercontinent Pangaea was surrounded by a mega ocean which is called as Panthalassa. Which is called as what? Panthalassa meaning all water. Pangaea meaning all the land and Panthalassa means all the water. Right? Pangaea was surrounded by Panthalassa, which was the single ocean, which was the single water body representing all water of the earth. All water of the earth. He argued that around 200 million years ago, around 200 million years ago, the supercontinent Pangaea began to split. Around 250 Around 250 million years ago, the continents were connected and represented by as what? Pangea, as whole Earth, land masses of the whole Earth, which started to split 200 million years ago. Which started to split 200 million years ago. Which started to split 200 million years ago. Pangea first splitted into two large continental masses as Laurasia and Gondwana land. Right, as Laurasia and Gondwana land. So I would like to say here, when the gravity of the sun and moon started to attract the Pangea. Pangea initially split into two land masses. Those were called as Laurasia and Gondwana. Laurasia and Gondwana land forming the northern and southern components respectively and created a new water body named as Tethys Sea. Named as Tethys Sea means when Pangea started to split around 200 million years ago, it split it into two parts. One moved towards north and second south. The north one was as Laurasia and the southern as Gondwana. In between the Laurasia and Gondwana, there created one more water body as Tethys Sea. The remains of Tethys Sea is considered as Mediterranean Sea. Right? Mediterranean Sea, it is all about the perception of the Alfred Wegener. It is all about the perception of Alfred Wegener. You can see in this particular image, 225 or 250 million years ago, it is the form of the earth. This is the Pangea representing all the land masses surrounded by water body that is called Panthalassa. 150 or 200 million years ago, Pangea started to split. Pangea started to split and it is split into two landmass, one as Laurasia, second Gondwana. And in between these two huge land masses as Laurasia, Gondwana, they are created water body called as Tethys Sea. Water body called as what? Tethys Sea. 100 million years ago, Africa and South America, Indian Peninsula, Antarctica, and Australia also split it. Here, the North America, Europe, and Asia, Europe also started to split. And this is the today's world. This is the today's world. You can see this is the North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, India, Australia, and Antarctica. Right? This is the today's world. So we must understand this was the initial form. This was the initial form. This is around 150 million years ago, and before 100 million years, this is the status of the world, and it is the current status of the world. Current status of the world. So we should draw these maps in the mains examination if you guess going to ask the question related to continental drift theory. Continental drift theory, right? Subsequently, Laurasia and Gondwana continued to break into various smaller continents that exist today. What I said earlier, the Laurasia and Gondwana also started to split. Laurasia converted into North America, Europe, and Asia, while Gondwana into South America, Africa, Indian Peninsula region, Antarctica, and Australia. Laurasia split into North America, Europe, and Asia, while Gondwana converted to South America, Africa, Australia, and Antarctica. Australia and Antarctica. This is the world map. We can see easily North America, Europe, and Asia created from Laurasia. Laurasia, right? South America, Africa, Australia, Indian Peninsula, and Antarctica and Antarctica together created from Gondwana land. These are the part of Gondwana land, right? Part of Gondwana land. Now I would like to tell you the evidences given by Alfred Wegener. Evidences given by Alfred Wegener to justify his theory. Alfred Wegener gave many of the evidences as number one, jigsaw fit, second, minerals, third, as fossils, fourth, placer deposits, fifth, as one interesting evidence of fossil have been recorded in the region of Ladakh. Fossil of fossil of whale mammal, right? Fossil of whale mammal have been recorded in the region of Ladakh. So it shows that there was the presence of ocean and Ladakh has evolved at the place of Tethys Sea. At the place of Tethys Sea. So evidences proposed by Alfred Wegener. Evidences proposed by Alfred Wegener. A variety of evidences was offered in support of the theory of continental drift. Some of these are given here, and the first as jigsaw fit. Jigsaw fit means the matching of continents. Jigsaw fit means the matching of continents. The shorelines of Africa and South America facing each other have a remarkable and unmistakable match. What does it mean? What does it mean? Look here on the world map. We can see actually the unmistakable and remarkable match of the eastern coastal boundary of South American continent with the African continent. There is the huge symmetry in the coastline of the eastern part of northeastern part of South America and the western coastal region of the Africa. Right? This is considered as a jigsaw fit. If we talk about the Red Sea, here is also the great symmetry between the Arabian Peninsula and African continent. We also having the symmetry in the other continental parts, other regions of the world. Also, it was elaborated by Alfred Wegener. It was elaborated by Alfred Wegener. The shorelines of Africa and South America facing each other have a remarkable and unmistakable match. What I have represented in the map, right? It may be noted that map produced using a computer programmer to find best fit of Atlantic margin was presented by the Bullard. Presented by what? Bullard in 1964. Actually, in 1964, a computer programmer Bullard represented the shoreline of the Atlantic Ocean and a symmetrical system of the continents, symmetrical system in the coastline of the continents. It proves to be quite perfect. He proved the concept of the shoreline, matching of shoreline quite perfect. The match was tried at 100 fathom line instead of the present shoreline. Means at the coastline of the Africa, South America, Europe, and North America, this experiment has been done at the depth of 1000 fathom, and 1 fathom is equals to 6 feet, means at 6000 feet depth the experiment was done. The experiment was done at 6000 feet depth to match the shorelines to create a proper symmetry among the continents, continental coastal region. The second evidence proposed by the Alfred Wegener is the rock of same age across the ocean. Means in ocean there is the rocks, rocks lying in the ocean bottom having the same age, similar age, right? The radiometric dating method developed in the recent period have facilitated correlating the rock formation from different continents across the vast ocean. The built of the ancient rocks of 2000 million years ago from Brazil coast matches with those from Western Africa. Means the Brazilian coastal rocks having match with the what? Eastern part of South America, western part of South America, right? The earliest marine deposit along the coastline of South America and Africa are of the Jurassic age. The earliest marine deposit along the coastline of South America and Africa are of the Jurassic age. Means both having the similar deposits, both having similar deposit of the same age, similar deposit of the same age. This suggests that oceans did not exist prior to that time. Oceans did not exist prior to that time. Why? Because the most ancient the most ancient deposits have been recognized of 2000 million years ago, 2000 million years ago along the coast of eastern part of what? South America and western part of Africa, western part of Africa. The third evidence proposed by Alfred Wegener is as what? Placer deposit. The occurrence of which placer deposit in of gold in the Ghana coast and the absolute absence of the source rock in the region is an amazing fact. Means in Ghana there is presence of deposits. There is presence of deposits of what? Deposits of gold minerals. But in the Ghana region there is absence of parental rock for the deposit of what? Gold metal, right? The gold bearing veins are in Brazil, and it is obvious that the gold deposit of the Ghana are derived from the Brazilian plateau when the two continents lay side by side. The gold bearing veins means rocks are located in the region of Brazilian plateau. Located in the region of Brazilian plateau, in such circumstances, we can say when these two continents, means Africa and South America, were interconnected, the Brazilian plateau were eroded and being deposited in the region of Ghana. Deposited in the region of Ghana. That's why at present they are lying the placer deposits, which indicates that these two continents were interconnected. These continents were interconnected. Distribution of fossils, right? Distribution of fossils. The fossils found in equatorial regions or the tropical regions match with the polar fossils, and in the polar area vice versa exists too. It indicates that actually the ancient polar fossils match with the current equatorial and tropical fossils. Vice versa conditions prevail too. It indicates that there has taken place movement of the land masses from equator to pole and pole to equator. It indicates that these areas either would have experienced Opposite climatic conditions or land masses have interchanged their locations. If Earth has no change in its inclination, then there cannot be the condition of the climatic changes, right? Then cannot there cannot be the change in the climatic conditions if there would have not changed, if there would have not been taken place change in the change in what inclination of the earth. So literally, we can say that land masses have changed their location. We can say that what the first point that the areas have experienced opposite climatic condition is not appropriate. Opposite to it, we can say that land masses have changed, interchanged. Land masses have interchanged their locations. Land masses have interchanged their locations, right? The fifth evidence of Alfred Wegener related to the limings. It is what subpolar. It is subpolar fauna. It is the word subpolar fauna. There is a presence of a fauna laming in the western part of Europe, which migrates at the time of overpopulation in search of food towards Atlantic Ocean. Actually, when the population of there is presence of the liming fauna in subarctic region and largely found in the western part of Europe. When the population of the lemmings increases drastically, they try to migrate in search of the food and literally mainly they move towards the Atlantic Ocean and get died. Why? Because they sink in the Atlantic Ocean. Some scholars ask that would the lemmings going to suicide in the Atlantic Ocean? It is not. It is the genetic features, genetic behavior, genetic indicators of the lemmings which says that if you move towards west of the of Europe, western part of Europe, you will get what shelter, you will get what food sources where you can make your survival, right? So they move towards west and sink ultimately they get died. This represents that there would have been a connective landmass, connective landmass with the Western Europe where the lemming migrate, used to migrate in previous eras. The phenomenon indicate the movement of the different movement or drifting of the continents. This actually shows the movement or drifting of the continents. So these all are the actually evidences given by Alfred Wegener. Now we take conclusion about the continental drift theory. We take conclusion about the continental drift theory, right? The evidences suggested by Alfred Wegener are neither universal nor exactly logical scientific. Even though this theory is being considered as landmark in the development of geographical concepts because it provided base for upcoming theory of plate tectonics, which is most advanced logical and scientific theory. The evidences as well as the assumption of the Alfred Wegener is not absolutely correct nor properly scientific, but it is going to provide base for upcoming most scientific theory like plate tectonics. So we should respect this theory and the thought of Alfred Wegener. Most advanced logical and scientific theory having capability to prove the formation of various landforms like mountains, plateaus, plains, deeps and trenches, plains, deeps and trenches, etc., and occurrence of various geological phenomena like earthquake, volcanic eruption, tsunamis, right? tsunamis, landslides, etc. Therefore, this theory, this concept of acidity, therefore, this concept of acidity, right, having capability to prove the formation of various landforms like mountains, plateaus, plains, deeps, and trenches, etc., and occurrence of various geological phenomena like earthquake, volcanic eruption, tsunami, landslides, etc. Therefore, this concept of acidity proposed by Alfred Wegener, this concept of acidity proposed by Alfred Wegener is valuable development in field of geology and geography. In field of geology and geography. One question related to the mains examination, UPSC have asked the mains question in 2013 examination. What do you understand by theory of continental drift? Discuss the prominent evidences in its support. UPSC asked this question in 2013 of 5 marks in 100 words. So I think after this discussion, you all might be able to write the answer asked by the UPSC. First of all, you should write the concept of the continental drift theory, then give all 5 evidences explained by me here. Right? All the best to all of you. Have a nice time. Goodbye.